Our ongoing coverage of the anniversary of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Public interest litigation has proved revolutionary in the implementation of the 2010 Constitution, which has suffered a blow from time to time due to personal as well as political interests. However, amidst all this, Kenyans have managed to secure victory, sometimes through litigators like Okiya Omtata and Nakuru Surgeon Dr. Magare Gikenye, who have challenged directives that undermine basic rights. NTV's Ruth Sarmoei Chesenge highlights the impact of public interest litigators in enhancing democracy on our continued coverage of Katiba at 14.
From the Finance Bill 2023 that was recently declared unconstitutional to the controversial acts and policies like the Housing Levy, Road Maintenance Levy Fund, Social Health Insurance Fund, the names of Okiya Omtata and Nakuru Surgeon Dr. Magare Gikenye have always featured as top public interest litigators. Dr. Magare Gikenye is among other Kenyans that filed a petition blocking the implementation of Social Health Insurance Fund that was declared unconstitutional in July this year. The matter is currently in the Court of Appeal.
So the case of Chief, we have gone to court, the case is still ongoing. But all the same, what I can say, we have at least, we can say we have done a lot to make sure the Kenyans receive what they need to get. Otherwise, if you leave the state to do everything what it does, then at the end of the day, we may not be able at the end of the day to do what the Constitution says.
The Nakuru-based surgeon boasts of filing approximately 30 cases, claiming to have won 9 out of 10 cases he has presented. His reason to win is after challenging the government for charging 1,000 shillings for Kenyans to secure an identification card.
So moved to court, there was an injunction. After the injunction, then the government now came back and then looked like they want to do public participation. They reduced it to a 300.
Busia Senator Okiya Omtata has also become prominent for going to court on behalf of Kenyans. He boasts of having presented nearly 1,000 cases since the promulgation of the Constitution and currently has 100 active cases. His vigor in fighting for Kenyans has, however, come at a cost.
I file in my own name and I bear all the consequences. And in some cases, I have nearly been killed. Right now, as we talk, I don't have 10 teeth in my mouth. My skull has been hammered twice. Those threats keep on coming, and the struggle continues.
Omtata was among those that challenged the creation of the Office of the Chief Administrative Secretaries, the Finance Act of 2023, matters that were deemed unconstitutional. Despite such landmark rulings, a number are yet to be implemented by government.
Undermines the rule of law and constitutionalism, in all. But most importantly, it destroys the country because, like, look at the orders that have been given in terms of economic issues. Economy is going nowhere if court orders are not going to be obeyed. Investors will avoid a country whereby court orders are disregarded because they know that if they come into problems, it's the big man's word against their words.
They always say a society becomes rotten when good people keep quiet. Nowadays the courts are very liberal. Of course, we have less gatekeepers. Initially we used to have gatekeeper charges, especially in the old constitution.
Shikoki Hika, the founder of Tribeless Youth, is another public litigant who has taken part in cases like the reconstitution of the IEBC and challenging the Finance Bill 2023, among others.
I do not think you can compensate someone enough for their mental health and how draining this work is, but at the same time, you can never compensate someone enough to fight for their country.
They say the 2010 Constitution does not need amendment.
You cannot begin amending it before you test run it. Let us implement the Constitution, say, okay, everything is in place, let us test run it, and see if it works or not doesn't work. But when you begin saying you are going to amend and you have refused to implement, I think it's a big problem.
The Constitution we have is very progressive, but I think we have failed, especially the political class, what I can call the leadership of the country in terms of implementing the said Constitution.
Public interest litigators get their power from Article 22 of the Constitution, which allows them to institute court proceedings defending their freedoms in the Bill of Rights. Ruth Sarmoei Chesenge, NTV.